live, so let me pull us to that
Oh,
channel.
got me Star Scourge Great Swords.
Oh, it's one of these buttons here. So many fun buttons for Patrick.
Oh, we got pulled into the happy channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The happy channel. All right, let's see here. Hey, how's it going, Jero? Welcome. Jero, have you ever thought about soloing a controller, my friend? Let's add a channel for rewards. You like your rewards, don't you, Patrick? Nice, juicy,
Yo,
glowy rewards. We like our rewards, right?
we love our rewards.
We love rewards. I do think it's kind of interesting. You can put these powers over here in a corner like this, and they'll curl up around the corner of the screen. That's pretty cool. Never use it, but you know, it's interesting. I have a couple, but I power level. You power level them, Jero. Jero, why did you do that, Jero? Why? Yeah, I wonder if she could have a split up her dress. The picture has a split on her dress right there. It's not a bad idea, actually. All right, let's see here. You had a few on live servers? Sure. Have you ever soloed them though? That's the $1,000,000 question. Have you ever tried soloing those bad puppies up? If I put rewards there, combat here, and move this a little further down. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that'll work. UI in this game is it's a little iffy. Some people, I occasionally get the complaint that they don't like my UI setup. It's a little tough to do, I suppose. They were.
Oh my god. All right.
They,
I have to go, Phil.
oh.
It's messing with my connection. Something's going on today.
Oh. Alrighty, we'll have
I'll be
fun.
back a little bit later.
I'll be around. So, a lot of people. Joe, tell me if you heard this one before. Anyone joining the chat? Have any of you tried to solo level controllers up from like 1 through 40, 50, whatever? Have any of you tried to solo controllers up? I mean, anybody can level a controller up in a group. You could level anything up in a group. Absolutely, but have you leveled up a controller or a controller solo? Gosh, I really like this ice effect on the guy. I just want to keep running around. I wonder if I can write out my name if I'm dexterous. There's a P, right? Now if I'm really fast, maybe I can get the HII and an L. That'd be really neat. Nah, it's more fun when she runs around. What if she runs around really fast? Oh, okay. I'm easily entertained by the ice on the ground. Now, maybe I'll do something else first. Maybe we'll do something else first to kind of get things warm. Actually, I had, I was hoping, what's his name would be here. I'll have to look at the powers and decide on a concept tune. Well, the question I'm asking is, have you ever? So the question I'm asking all the audience tonight, and maybe I need to wait later. I'll do a mission first, and then see if other people join in. But the $1 million question I have for people is, have you solo level a controller before? Right, just taken a controller and mostly level them up through solo, and if not, why? Life is too short. There's an answer from Magnus. Right? Why not? If you haven't done it, why not? That's the $1 million question I have for you guys today. That is the $1 million question. How are you doing tonight, Magnus? I hope you're having a good day. Welcome. My name is Phil, aka JCServant. Welcome to an exciting stream of City of Heroes. Tonight, I have a special surprise for people. But I'll let the stream run for a bit, let people get time to join in before we reveal the surprise. I'm very excited. We'll be recording another video or two. Not enough attack powers. I love your answer, Chris. Love your answer. I'll give some other people a chance to answer. The question for tonight, I may have a revelation that's going to blow everyone's brain away. Just blow it away. Blow it away. But my question is, have you ever considered solo leveling a controller before? Have you ever done it? Have you ever considered it? If you haven't done it, or you haven't considered, why not? Why not, right? That's the $1 million question that I have for you guys today. Now, when I get through this mission, I will tell you the next step in this little. I'm very excited. Yeah. How you doing, Roger? How's it going? Let's go ahead and kill that guy right there. Just take a look at our energy blast here. 90 points of damage by a level 19 Sentinel. Holy cow. That is one heck of a shock. Holy sweet mother mercy. That one's only 55. Yeah, they're not my playstyle, but I like making concept tunes. Your cat likes to jump on the keyboard. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Now, those of you who haven't played a controller because, you didn't want to watch paint dry while you were leveling and things like that, they don't have enough attack powers, have you done the Dominator? Have you enjoyed it? I think these guys enjoy being shocked. Da, 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 da. Don't mind me, boys. Just gonna come in here and rob you of all your juice. There's a little bird running away from me. Get back down there. Where's he going? I don't have time to deal with him while I got these guys. It's really funny. These are lieutenants and guys shooting nonstop at me, but they're hardly doing any damage because we all know that that arrows stink. Hey, Rising Ape. The question I have so far for tonight, for those of you joining the stream, have you soloed a controller or, you know, whatnot? If you haven't or you won't consider it, why not? Why not? That's our question for tonight. You want to stay off the keyboard? Oh, I know about cats on the keyboard. I do know about them, absolutely. I don't know if I can just get these two without dragging in the other guys, but we'll give it the old college try. Oh, okay. Those arrows are starting to add up to some pain here. Oh my gosh, I am not doing good with that. Let's see if we can knock these guys out here. And if you haven't considered or you don't want to play it or whatever the deal is, have you tried Dominator? I'm looking for as much feelings from people about soloing controllers first, and then secondly, what about doing Dominators? Very, very curious about both these things. Soloing controllers first, and then soloing Dominators. Alright, let's see what you guys said. Doing the Dom now, you might have saw a run past you last night, Spectral Dart. Oh, very, very cool. Hopefully you're enjoying playing Spectral Dart so far. I got a special announcement after I get through this mission here. Very excited to share something. Yeah. You're still leveling your tank. That's fair enough. Highest I got in control is 40-ish. I do like my theme characters, and she was Ice Storm. Now, did you solo that, Rising Ape, or were you just doing that in groups on that troller? All right, we're talking about trollers. We're talking about trollers primarily tonight, but of course, you know, DOMs are very adjacent to them, so we're also going to talk about that. He's running away. I do like to play a sentinel here and there just to remind myself how fast things can die. And this isn't even as fast as a brute, but you know, it's really close. I was playing brute last night and just having a really good time on one of these missions and just tearing through things. It was either kill or be killed with the brute. Uh-oh. So battery's going out. Solo, as you usually do, kind of killed your... WoW kind of killed your... So you soloed that controller. I might understand that you soloed that controller from 1 through 40. I only like Mastermind robotics with empathy secondary, LOL, but stopped playing when I got to the insta-kill boss. Insta-kill boss? Oh, you'll have to tell me about that. I haven't found a boss in story arcs anyways that I couldn't cream with a Mastermind. Now, occasionally they kill some of my bots off, but I just summon up more. And I haven't even, the last boss I fought, I showed it right here on the stream. I didn't even have to. Use inspirations. It was a sad day for the boss. That was an elite boss, which, by the way, I think you can turn those off. That's something else I'd like to test tonight. We can do a story arc to see if we can turn off elite bosses. All solo. And Rising Ape, were you able to do that? What kind of troller did you say that was? Ice Storm? Was it super slow, Rising Ape, or did you find a way to make it somewhat palatable? Because, like, you can see how fast this character is going through lieutenants and stuff like that, right? And I don't expect a controller or a dominator to be this fast. But this is hardly the fastest Sentinel either. We're not using fire, after all, or radiation or anything like that. But controllers have so few attack power. So how did you do that? What's your secret? Let's see. Dominators do not do enough damage for my taste. When you need and when you need healing, you wish you were a troller instead. Well, some trollers can heal. A lot of them cannot. You have to pick. There's only like one. I think there's two power sets that really do decent solo healing, right? Because, like, for example, Empathy's big heal doesn't work on yourself, right? Nature gives you some regeneration. Brutes on my plays. Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty, how you doing? Let's see. Yeah, Dominators not do enough damage for your taste, which is fair. Dominators, I like Dominators. I love playing Dominators, but out of all the classes I enjoy playing, they do get the job done. Out of the classes I do enjoy playing, they get the job done the slowest. And if you kill slower than a Dominator, to me, then I generally don't want to play that class. You don't mind slower kind of play. Rising Ape, have you ever tried a Dominator? And if so, did you find it a lot faster to solo? How you doing, Marty? How's you doing tonight? You playing something fun and exciting? Oh gosh, how many of these guys do they pack into this place? Apparently they packed all the guys into here. Jeez. Everything's on cooldown. I don't want to use Cage on him again. It's about to die. You took Stealth to 6. Nature, Traps, Radiation, Empathy, Pain, and Thermal. But those don't have a lot of great healing. Some of those don't have a lot of great healing. Traps, for example, has what? Traps has the thing that increases your regeneration. It's not strong healing in solo. You know, when you put it down for an entire group of people, it multiplies. The regeneration is healing multiple people, so it adds up. But in single player, it's no. Yeah, there's not a lot of great. I don't think there's a lot of great self-healing in trollers. Dark has the one where you suck the energy from. You hit the enemy. You have to hit them, and if you hit them, and I forget what it does, it probably does something like minus regen on enemy or something like that. It gives you a bit of a heal. That one I have slotted up to be kind of a decent heal. And even that's kind of mid. I'll tell you, I hardly ever heal on Doms because I don't need to. If you ever seen the way I play Doms, you don't need to heal on Doms. You shouldn't need to. Mind Psychic. That's in fact, my level 50 Dominator, my one level 50 Dominator that I have is Mind Psychic. Yeah, so it's minus to hit and it gives you some hit points back. That's a fun power. I use it on my Mastermind all the time to heal all my bots. So it's not big healing, but when you multiply it times like 5 bots, it adds up. On Controller, I think it heals for a titch more, but you're only healing yourself and maybe your pets, which honestly, my pets hardly ever need healing on the Controller. I don't know why. It's like they're invulnerable or something like that. Oh, Bots Dark Mastermind is really, really good. Yeah, I don't know why my pet on Controller has yet to die or even come close. I don't know if he just doesn't grab aggro the way my bots do or something, or my puppy dogs do, or what the deal is, but Pumpkin hardly ever. Yeah, Bots in Dark is awesome. Bots in Dark is awesome. So our big question for tonight, if you're just joining us, oh yeah, this is the Electric Sentinel right here. Oh yeah, Electric Sentinel is awesome. The $1 million question, if you're just joining us, have you ever soloed a controller? And if so, tell me about the experience. If not, why? I'll try not to make this about Dominators, because I love Dominators. I can talk about Dominators all day long. But there is but even though I love them to death, I did put them at BB minus. With controllers at a solid B minus. But I have something that might turn that around just a little. Just a little. Oh gosh, what was that? Oh, his explosion arrow. Okay. Yeah, this is the Electric Sentinel, Electric Boogaloo Sentinel. And we're blasting things up. And gosh, I don't even have her defenses turned on. I'm sitting here running around, I don't even have defenses turned on. I guess Sentinels have so many hit points, you don't even have to worry about defenses. Did you guys know that? Or maybe they shut down when I ran low on energy that one time. Oh gosh, and I forgot he's got a little pet too. Because the Electric Sentinel hasn't been good enough yet. We could pull out the little pet to help out. The most successful one on our server is a Fire. Yeah, Fire, especially Fire tends to be meta. Tends to be meta. Absolutely. So, all right. So I think we got enough people now. I'll at least set the preamble. Let me tell you about my experience. Okay? You soloed your Dark Troller on Homecoming and Live and did Illusion Rad to 50. Okay, Angry, I got a question for you, bud. Okay, because I soloed a Dark to 20s. It was so painfully slow. So painfully slow. And I couldn't wait for it to be like, finally get that pet. He's in the corner. To finally get that pet, right? And when I finally got the pet, what did the pet do? Do you think the pet helped me to kill a lot faster? Well, I guess it was a lot faster in that it went from like 90 seconds to go through a mob pack or 2 minutes to like a little over 60, but it was still super, super slow. That's way too long for a mob pack, right? So, but you know what that dog did? You know what that dog did, Angrab? He howled over and over and over and over and over again. In between and I'm like, stop howling and attack. I'm the one holding the mobs down. You do damage. Stop your howling fear attack. I don't need them more feared. I need them dead. I thought the wolves looked so cool. I was so excited to summon it up for the first time after going through that painfully slow leveling process, just to have it sit there and go, howl, 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 howl. This is a electric psychic whatever armored sentinel. An electric sentinel. But we're not here to talk about the day. I'm excited. I'm gonna put this character away because we got, dude. Okay. So here, let me give you guys my story. Right, it's time for story time with Phil. You guys ready for story time with Phil? Let's talk about story time with Phil. All right. Let me switch out to let me switch out to that controller. Hawoo, hawoo, hawoo. The shadow pets are good, but they're on cooldown, right? Now the shadow pets are good, but you have to keep managing the cooldown, and until you get to later levels, they're not perma. But they are probably easier to get perma, obviously, than Phantom Army, right? All right. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. You're ready. Let's all be ready. All right. I'm excited to reveal this to you guys. All right, let me bring out Voidling Girl. The character is intentionally very small there. All right. Guys. Okay, so let me tell you my story. And in Controlled Chaos, I agree with you. Here's my story. I think Controlled Chaos is going to appreciate this. Here's my story with controllers, okay? So, yes. I'm not going to talk about the days on live, okay? Because that's going too far back. It's like going back to when I was a kid or whatever have you. So instead, we're going to talk about my homecoming experiences. So yeah, in playing on Homecoming and playing solo controllers and dominators, to me, it's night and day. Dominators win either way. I want to play the power fantasy of something that locks things down and then kicks their butts. Dominator does that. Now, Dominator doesn't do as much damage as Brute, Scrapper, Mastermind, Sentinel, Tanker. What else am I missing here? Blaster, Corruptor. There's almost, I think it's easier to list the classes that are lower in damage than Dominator, which is really possibly arguably Tanker, and then Defender and Controller, right? Those are your three. But the Dominator killing speed, while slow, is good for me, all right? Because I get to play the power fantasies. I'm going to lock you all down, and then I'm going to kick your butt. Now, there's not a lot of AoE in Dominator, so it kicks your butt one at a time with its pew-pew-pew powers. And that's what Dominator does. And I have enjoyed Dominators. They have become my second favorite class to play. You have to balance the holds and the pew-pew, and you have to be really good at it. And you guys have seen plenty of my videos about Dominators. But controllers do even less damage. Significantly less damage. Every controller I tried did less damage, and all I kept hearing was get the pet. Well, Dominators get pets. So Dominators do okay damage, and then they get pets, and they do better than okay damage, I suppose. Maybe they're okay plus. Okay, so they move up to okay plus, right? But controllers, they're way down here, and it's like watching paint dry before they get the pets. And when they get the pets, it's like basically having my T1 power just go off constantly, which is better than nothing, but it still sucks, right? Is it doable? Yes. Is it fun? No. I'll put it to you this way. You guys just saw me do that Sentinel, right? That's a Sentinel. Not as much damage as a Scrapper, a Stalker, a Brute. There's a lot of things that do damage better than a Sentinel, right? But yet, I was still getting through those mobs in under 10 to 15 seconds for a pack. Okay? Now, my Dominator, by comparison, takes about 30 seconds a pack because she has to spend some time locking them down, and that doesn't do a lot of damage. And then she has to go pew, pew, pew. And sometimes she has to reassert controls because some of them escape and start coming after her, whatever. And that all slows everything down on top of the fact that her damage is subpar. So that's already slow at 30-some seconds. On a controller, and from my experiences, this goes to 60 to 90 seconds. It is horrible. The one way you can address that is by using star powers to help out, right? Like the Black Wand or whatever, Moo or whatever it is. And that can help out too. But do I really want to keep playing a class that has to rely on hand pistols and wands? No matter, I'm supposed to be picking something for its cool fire theme, its stone theme, its electric theme, and here I'm going wand, and it's just rough. It is rough, and you can't enhance those, right? If you buy a black wand, you can't enhance it. So the pets come online, but the black wand is now falling behind. So yeah, so in my opinion, it's really, really, it was messed up, right? So, but guys, I have found a way to have a controller do more damage than a Dominator. even in the low levels, even before pet, if you can believe that. You want to see how? It is really something else. And part of this, some of you, when you see this, you are either already going to know this whole thing or you're going to know bits and pieces of it. But I have talked with a lot of people in the community and no one has ever explained this to me. And I have figured this out on my own, even if some of you already know about it and maybe we just haven't had that conversation. But it's my pleasure to bring it to you. I have tested this on controllers low levels, and by, we're talking low levels, and then 20s, and I have, this one is now up to 27. But by the way, she's been playing all the way up to 27, right? This one has gone through all the levels. So we have several examples for you tonight showing you how we can make a controller run really fast. Are you ready? Kitty cat. You can't tell if my cat needs to go downstairs or not. All right. So let's start it. We're going to start a YouTube video out of this. So I'm going to start a video. Is craziness J Myers? Because it's so fast, right? Because it's so fast. I'm going to show you how to make it fast, okay? Salutations, my name is Phil, aka JCServant. Welcome to another exciting City of Heroes video. Today we are talking about how to solo a controller. I know, perish the thought. But I'm excited, I am giddy, because I have discovered a way that works for most controllers to help them get through those painful lower levels faster. I have leveled plenty of DOMs, and I've attempted to level controllers, and I've leveled one controller, and it was like watching paint dry, and I swore never again. But now, I want to level controllers all over the place. And I want to show you my secret that has turned this from 0 to hero, just like that. At least for me, all right? And it really came about because it came about because I was talking with some friends about how to make the Defender more soloable. And sadly, we still haven't come up with an answer. But out of that conversation gave me an idea for controllers. I'm going to go to a place that's a little bit more visually quiet over here in Ouroboros. We'll go over to this nice, quiet, relaxing waterfall. And we're going to show you what kind of power setup we do here. Now, this is not a simple answer. It is not as simple as take one power fixes everything. It requires first, before we start, that you understand the containment power, the inherent power containment. Okay? The containment power says controllers are the masters at locking down and controlling their opponents. Few can escape their will. Controllers do extra damage to any target that's already being held, immobilized, slept, or disoriented. This control mastery extends to their capstone pets, allowing them to command their behavior as well as enabling them a 33% chance to inflict containment damage. Okay, that's what it says. Now, what's really important here, held, immobilized, slept, disorient. It does not work on fear and confused, knockdown, or anything else you can think of. So it isn't all mez. It's only on 4. Hold, immobilize, sleep, and disorient. Okay? You need to keep that in mind when you're building your character. You need to look for those 4 key things. And remember, at Homecoming, sleep on controllers now often procs a deep sleep, which is something you can actually use in a regular combat. Most of us in the past, when we were playing controllers and dominators, only use an AoE sleep basically as a, oh my gosh, there's this group over here, I don't want to deal with them now, put them to sleep and take them out. And then we'll come back to them later, because if you touch them, they'll wake up. Nowadays, you can use sleep as part of your controlling rotation, because you can actually damage them while they're sleeping. And with containment, you will get critical damage. Okay, I believe it's pretty much double damage, and you're going to see this in action. Okay, so this is very important. That's number one. Okay, number 2, you need to know your powers. You need to pick your powers carefully when you're picking your primary. Okay, the secondary, if you're soloing, your secondary isn't that important. I know, perish the thought. But your primary is going to be what's really, really important here to hone this in. Because none of the secondaries give you a lot of damage on controllers. You're not a dominator. The dominator secondary is all about damage. Yours is support. And if you're playing a lot of solo, I hate to tell you guys this, your support's not that important most of the time, outside of some examples such as like a fire kinetics build or something like that, where you have a lot of temporary pets and you're, bumping the hell out of them. So let's take a look, for example, at this dark one here. So what you're looking for as you mouse over your powers, and you can do this during character creation, by the way, if you know where to look, press the little eye symbol for information. Notice that some of these powers, and we'll move these to level 1, because if we were making this character, we would see that this power had 9 damage, 9 damage, no damage, no damage, 3 damage, 7 damage, but this is AoE, so that's not too shabby, relatively speaking. So those are my 3 damaging powers, right? 3 damaging powers. Number 1. And you need to start knowing what these values should look like at level 1. Because, for example, on some controllers, that initial number can be as high as 15 or even 20 on your T1 and 2. On darkness here, it's only 9. So keep that in mind. Very important. Okay? So, and whatnot. Now, when we're leveling these up, we're going to make sure we put at least 2 reds, if not 3 reds, into these as quickly as possible. We need as much damage out of these as possible. This is it's one of your main forms of damage. Take what you can get. But you're not just going to use these for their damage, of course. They're also applying. You're looking for these primaries that are also applying the effect. What does Shadow Binds do? It's going to give us Immobilize, right? And Immobilize allows things to crit on this guy now. Very, very important. You know what doesn't allow you to do that? Possess. Possess confuses somebody. Confusion doesn't get extra damage. Now, thankfully, possession is its own reward because that minion will start hurting other people. So don't get me wrong. Possession's already a form of DPS. But you need to understand it doesn't help you with your overall strategy. Fearsome Stare. Now, Fearsome Stare is one of those early control powers we get in the dark side. It's a 70-degree foot radius, 45-degree art, magnitude terrorize. But guess what, boys and girls? It doesn't give you that extra damage, does it? Right? Because it's not one of the big 4. So, Fearsome Stare, you see I don't have a lot of slots in this, really. Not something you should be using a lot. This now becomes a emergency power, only used in emergencies, because you're not going to use this part of your rotation, Heart of Darkness is a stun. I believe stun was one of the big 4 in the list. So, that one you could do. I say I believe now. I'm not 100% sure of myself. So if we just check our prestige power again and just look at that details, stun is not on the list. So make sure you need to know exactly what does the trick and what doesn't do the trick. And set up your powers accordingly. Immobilize is a common one that you usually get the first AoE in a lot of these sets is Immobilize, because Immobilize doesn't completely stop the mobs. It just stops them in place. They can start using their ranged attacks. But it allows you to do that critical damage. Okay? Now, once you understand which of your powers basically makes the enemy vulnerable to containment double damage, and you as you're leveling up, you start prioritizing those and giving those the highest priority, along with an occasional emergency hold that might be outside that's fine. The next thing you're thinking to yourself is, what's some other forms of really good damage I can get? Okay? And when I look through that, when I think through that, there was one easy answer. Arcane Bolt. Right here. Arcane Bolt at level 1 does 40 points of damage. That is literally 4 times the amount of damage found in Dark Grasp or Shadowy Binds. Right? It's massive damage, and it only has a 7-second recharge, on it. And if you put a recharge E on it, you're going to be doing it more. This is a nice, long-range pew-pew that does really good damage. Furthermore, as you read the description, you see that there is extra energy damage on what? Immobilize, held, sleeping, terrified, or stunned targets. So we have synergy. We have synergy with what we do as a controller anyways within Arcane Bolt. Okay? So we have synergy there. So what I have learned is what you want to do is you want to focus on those powers that give those conditions, primarily your T1 and 2. You're going to be looking out for a lot of those that have hold or immobilize or sleep or whatnot. And then you're going to pick up Arcane Bolt pretty early. And you should be able to, because if you're focusing on just those powers and those are your priority powers, then there's usually room to bring Arcane Bolt in early and put that into your rotation. Okay? Good job, Angarp. Angarp says he relied on Arcane all the way through. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we synergize these together, and we can get some pretty good damage. We can get some pretty good damage. And you can see here I'm missing a lot of enhancements on this character. I've leveled her up so fast in just playing around with this that I haven't gotten around to maybe some of these, these enhancements, around here. And I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to show you guys what the character can do for now. So let's go and get into some trouble and show you exactly how this can work. Okay? Let me just see if I have a mission up for this one. Looks like we got a mission here. I don't know. Meet up with Botus doesn't sound like a super exciting mission. Let me just see if I have some tips, some alignment tips we do. So we'll go somewhere and use an alignment mission real quick and get into some trouble. Hey, Brain. I'm glad to see you here. Let me finish. We're going to talk with Brain here after we do this mission here. All right. So let me show you guys how this works. All right, we're going to start, and I'm going to show you 3 controllers today. 3 controllers, and yeah, let's pop that guy right there. We're going to do 3 controllers. We're going to do dark, that's higher in level. I forget what else we're going to do, but we're going to do a lower level one, and then we're going to go back up, and by high level, I'm talking like below 30. So we're going to show you a couple of examples. And we're going to show you with and without the pets. Right? Let's get in there and let's get dangerous. Of course, my luck, I got this mission where maybe they're immune to all my mezzes and dark and all that other fun jazz. What are we doing here? Can we not fall in? Thank you. Alrighty. Wow, why am I moving so fast without speed turn on? All right, so we got a little minion here to start with. Now, I'm not going to bring out the pets just yet, okay? I'm going to show you the rotation. For a single target, it's pretty simple. I'm going to do Shadowy Binds to start putting the grabs on it, and then hit it with Arcane Bolt. And we're going to see that takes off a nice chunk of this minion's, health bar. And it's a quick rotation. 1, 2, and 3. And hopefully that will finish him off with the DOT over there. I got this other guy who wants to interrupt me and wants to play along, and he doesn't understand. I'm just trying to finish this guy off. What do we have here? Oh, a lieutenant. Oh, that's even better. All right. 1. Again, we're just trying to get the mezzes on him. Then hit him with Arcane Bolt. And that's a lieutenant there. Now, what happens here is Arcane Bolt just procced. And I didn't catch it quite fast enough, but you can actually get 2 Arcane Bolts off in a row when it procs, from that effect. Okay? So let's go ahead and finish this guy off. And this is before the pets. Not too bad. I'm not saying it's the super fastest killing in the world, but I'm telling you, that's not too shabby. And the pets aren't even out yet, right? We're not even using the big guns. All right. Now, normally, the thing about, there is difference between the power sets. There's some differences. When we do the next character, you're going to see that this goes faster because their base damage in their T1 and 2 is faster. But this one has confusion with possession, which would make these go faster. The problem is they weren't clumped together right there, so I didn't really have a way to get some extra damage out. So let's confuse this guy to make an example out of him. He's going to start beating up on this guy. So what you do is you confuse the first guy. You mez the second guy, and you're going to beat him up together with your minion. You're just going to have a little fun. Your minion's going to help him along. Use our AoE, of course. You know what really helps is when you actually hit and you don't miss as much. That would help. What do I have here? Do I have a whole group, or did he just summon these? What's going on here? I'm trying to do an example. Let's go ahead and use a little more AoE just in case, these guys are all going to be a pain like this. And I don't understand why I end up getting a mission where everything's higher level than me. That definitely is going to slow things down a titch. Normally, when you solo controllers, a lot of times you'll put it on -1, but we can't do that anymore because that's bugged out the wazoo. All right, that's going to finish him off. Yeah, this is kind of weird because it's basically, what I didn't understand is I guess that one calls up other ones, and I guess I wasn't ready for that. I don't know. I thought there was only 2. On the XCOM scale, yeah, it pretty much does. But you can see that arcane bolt hits pretty hard when containment's in motion. And there goes an extra arcane bolt, so easy to finish him off. Have a nice day. Let me get some rest here. All right, now when we pull out the pet, this will go a little bit faster. But I want to show there, right now, even without the pet, we're close to Dominator speeds. Okay? Definitely a lot faster than what I'm used to in the past when I was playing. I was literally just waiting for those little 2s and 3s to add up for things to die. And here I'm able to kind of get them through. And part of it is just me understanding, stop fearing everything. I was fearing everything as my main hold, and I wasn't getting the extra domination, or the, whatever it's called, not domination, but the extra controller damage from it. So that really wasn't helping out here. So this time we're going to have our pet. We're going to bring out the other pets. Why is this not working? Is this guy like confusion resistant? Lovely. But you can see that lieutenant's already dead here. Bring them back up here. Go ahead and kill this guy. And with the pets out, it's like melting butter, right? Now that we got the pets out, it's like, okay, have a nice day. Yeah, playing controller before containment, yeah, there's no way. It's clear that they put this mechanic in order to help controllers along. And now that we have this mechanic in, you know, if you exploit it and you work it well, you can easily get up to Dominator, if not past Dominator in damage. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Goose, give me a hot minute here. We're just going to finish this guy up here. Finish up this dungeon.
I just had a question about your most recent video.
Yeah, sure. 1 minute. We're going to wrap up here with this example. But you can kind of see here, we put containment on everything. And a little extra possession never hurts to increase your DPS with this particular one. And you can see we get through things a lot faster. I did a lot of stuff on here, and yeah, again, I'm not arguing it's brute fast. It's not Sentinel fast, but it's definitely much better than before, at least from my experiences. It's not watching paint dry, and it's at least as fast as the Dominators, if not faster. And I enjoy playing my Doms. And the thing about this, I will say, in order to get the best damage out of this, you got to be good at your rotation. With the Sentinel, with the Scrapper and stuff, I don't think you have to be like a rotation king. Most of their damage rotations are pretty straightforward. The more that you understand exactly how these powers work together and when to use them, the better you'll be at this. And then when you start understanding your secondary and when to use that for reducing like defenses and resistances and stuff, you can get even better at this. And you can see just how fast we went through that little pack right there. So that's the first example. We'll come back with another example. Okay, we're taking a break from recording that video so I can talk to y'all and stuff. And you guys can tell me what you think in the chat. Hey, so how's it going, Goose?
Caffeinated and medicated. I had a small question, really. It was just about the video.
Sure.
You had your in-game character that you're following around, but you also had like an art of them off to the side. Did you base the character on the art, or did you have the art made of the character?
The art's always generated off the characters from City of Heroes, because I generate them in City of Heroes first, and then I just export it to Gemini AI and tell it to create, a Marvel-looking character for me based on that.
Would you be willing to show me how to do that at some point when you're not making a video and streaming?
Yeah. Well, there's two great examples. One is if you go back and watch my Christmas video, part of my Christmas present was I showed everybody exactly how I do it. The second thing is I actually just posted in our artwork channel, I posted a couple of examples. And I showed the prompt and everything.
Okay, cool. I apparently missed that in the art channel somewhere.
Yeah. Brian 75, how long are you going to be on? Did I just do it? I did it. Misos. I did it. Yeah, I did it in the artwork. The problem is there's a lot of artwork going up in the artwork channel lately, so you might have to scroll up a bit. Or costumes. It was under costumes. Might be under costumes. It was one of those channels.
Copy that.
Yeah, I will tell you guys. Yes. That yes, playing a big part of this is making sure you get slots in arcane bolts. One of the reasons she's a little slower is I don't have the third damage and a reduction here, recharge reduction. I design. I'll be on for a bit. Okay, because I didn't get to show you. You're I believe you're the one with the Stone Sentinel, right? And I need to show you some Stone Sentinel stuff. I believe, right? Yeah, but yeah, I love using Gemini for the artwork. It's really, really good at doing this stuff.
Yeah, so essentially I just did not have those channels selected, apparently, and I had to browse them.
Yeah, we've been talking artwork all day and people using different AI models. I personally, I used to be a ChatGPT fan, but unfortunately, I think like their stuff hasn't gotten any better in a while, and in the world of AI, that's kind of a bad thing because it's moving so fast, and the new models do so much better. Yeah, Haunt summons 2 pets. Yeah, it sure does. Oh yeah. How about you? What you playing tonight? So many names. Goose, what you playing tonight?
Oh, I'm gonna be getting on the game after I get done watching your video on dynamic duos. You know, shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. I know.
At JCServant on YouTube.
Yeah, we have a cool new video about dynamic duos. Everyone needs to watch it.
Shortly. Yeah, so I'm just watching that and then I'm gonna pop on.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna watch that video and then you're playing the game and then you're coming back? Is that what you said?
There's an order in there somewhere, and there is a correct formula of that order. But I'm running on 3 hours sleep and 4 shots of espresso. Don't ask me what the correct order is at the moment. We're gonna discover it together.
Well, I'll be around for a while. Probably for a couple more hours.
Heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be back. I just want to make sure I watch this video and not disturb you and your viewers. And
Oh, not disturb at all.
Who's probably already heard. But anyways,
No.
I'll be back. Have fun.
All right. Have fun. Yeah, it's a deep hole, right, Lord Chaos? Because once you go in it, you can't stop. You keep making your own, characters and stuff, right? No, I mean, I know there's a leveling pack mechanic in there somewhere, Jay. And I apologize, guys. There's going to be a delay between when you put the questions when I get the answers because of the video delay. But yeah, there's a leveling pack thing in there. I never use it. We just agree to only use those characters when we're playing together, and that usually does the trick. Obviously, if someone gets really ahead, you can solo the other guy. You can solo for a bit and catch up. But we're disturbed already. Right? Now, this was not even the fastest Dominator, guys. Would it shock you to know? I think my lower level... I'm sorry, I said Dominator. This is not the fastest controller, partly because I don't have her slotted yet in some of those slots. Would you believe a lower level controller could be faster than this? Oh, try and teach Gemini how to make a longbow character so he can incorporate. That's a smart idea. That's a smart idea, Lord Chaos. A dark tank is fun. It's so far fun. How's it at higher levels? I'm not really sure. Tanks I have a love-hate relationship with when it comes to soloing. I'm sure for any group play, though, it's perfectly fine. For soloing, it can be a little bit tanks can be hit or miss because some of them just... It depends on how your tolerance is for things dying slowly. The problem is I'm so used to playing brutes, sentinels, scrappers, stalkers that when I get my hands on a tanker, for me, it feels too slow. Unless I'm playing something like... Lately, I've been playing Biostaff and having a lot of fun with that. It's still slower than everything I just listed, but it's fast enough that I don't get cranky at it. Yeah, the Scrapper and the Brute are better for soloing. Brute is the best. I did a video yesterday showing a Brute taking down an elite boss, barely breaking a sweat. I used one inspiration before the fight, and it was all I needed. That was it. It was a minor one. Yeah, a Scrapper would, unless if the crits lined up well, I might have been in the same position, but it's a gamble. With the Scrapper, sometimes I would have had to use some Heelys to get through. Bio armor does help. Okay, guys, let's talk about the next Dominator, right? Let's get the next Dominator up here on the docket. I keep saying Dominator, Controller. Yeah, I don't mind. I guess, it's all relative, Big Papa, right? Like there's for me, I play Dominators. They're my second favorite class, and they're slower than 70% of other ATs in the game. But when you get down, like, say, Defender level or Controller, the way I was playing it, I can't do it. That's too slow. I need to be able to, like, complete the mission sometime today because my time is somewhat limited. And I want to play other characters, right? And it's not, I don't want to play one character for 3 hours and one character for 1 hour because it takes this one 3 hours to get through a mission. This one only takes 1 hour. That's yucky. But I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, Scrapper's a roller coaster. I prefer Stalkers because Stalkers can manage their crits and when they crit through being hidden, placate, and do an Assassin Strike when it's lit up, right? You get to manage the combos. All right, let's pull up my next artwork here, guys. Here we go. It's the Arctic Bride. She was left at the wedding altar at the day of her wedding, and her heart turned into a big old ball of ice, and she manifested powers and now used them to terrorize, to inflict her frustration on the entire world. She is, in fact, the Arctic Bride. Okay? All right. So let's talk about... Oh, I can tell you how to do Dominators, but it is tough, Chris. It isn't as easy. But once you learn it, it's very satisfying. I would normally play Dominator over Troller, right? But these changes I'm telling you about, guys, has got me turned around. I love controllers, soloing controllers now because of this trick. So let's start the recording of another video and show you what I mean for those of you just joining. All right. Welcome back. So this is my second controller, okay? It's not a Dominator, controller. And this one, Arctic Bride here, is going to... we're going to take a look first at her setup. So let's take a look at enhancements. Now this one's better enhanced because I did this not too long ago. So what you're going to see, first of all, Ice is very interesting because its attack powers at level 1. Now remember that last one's numbers were somewhere... They were pretty low, right? I think they were like 10. You're going to see the average damage on the first two powers is actually 18. Nearly twice as much as Dark. However, there's no confusion in Ice, right? So you're missing the early DPS that comes from confusing one of the foes. So these kind of balance out in a way, all right? But again, you look over your Ice powers really carefully. You pick those that are going to have, we're looking for Immobilize, we're looking for Holds, right? So we have those right there. Lots of Immobilize, and our Frostbite is our first AoE Immobilize. These are all going to make enemies vulnerable to our critical hits, or whatever you want to call them, from our Inherit. All right? Then we're going to see later on here, I just picked up Ice Lick, which is my big DOT, AoE DOT. About as much damage as maybe half of one of these guys. So as far as damage goes, it's you mostly want to do it when you're facing a lot of foes. But it's, I believe yeah, it has a chance. Check this out. It has a chance essentially, and I'm reading this language, I'm pretty sure it has a chance to do extra damage if the target's already immobilized, held, sleeping, terrified, or stunned. So we're getting that synergy there of something else that has a chance of doing more damage if the target's already mezzed. So you want to use Ice Lick after you use Frostbite, and you've immobilized a bunch of them. So again, kind of keep that in mind. Now, here we have our sorcery, and we have 3 reds, 1 accuracy. That's what you call maximum deeps. 1 accuracy is all you need against most enemies your level. All right, and then that's pretty much it. The secondary, I don't pay it that much attention because in the lower levels, we're just focused on trying to get as much damage out of this build as possible. We can worry about secondaries later. Obviously, if you're playing this character in a group a lot, your approach is going to be a lot different. But in a solo setting where I'm solo leveling this tune, I'm focused on damage. And you're going to see just how well this pans out for us here when we go and find ourselves a little mission to get into trouble with, right? So let's see here. I guess I got a mission I can turn in here real quick, and that's in Cap. Or I could just start in Ouro maybe. I don't remember which Ouros are really great or not. Oh wait, I could probably just do a radio mission. They are that's a great point. I think in our chat here we got a very great point that your controllers are very reliant on your order of operations. That's very, very important. Okay? And that's the lesson I've had to learn. Number 1, invest in Arcane Bolt and invest heavily in it. Number 2, understand your order of operations in order to get decent DPS. If you don't do it right, you won't get it. Period. And I'm saying this as a guy who really doesn't pay attention to these small little details. I really don't normally. But here it makes the difference between makes or break. So, wow, we got a boss in the middle of all these minions. I don't know, should I take this group on? I can't really tell how many there are. That looks like there's a lot there. And it's not like I'm a group DPS queen. And I don't have pets yet. That might be a little hard with the boss in the middle. But, let's see. And these are gray. I don't want to fight gray. Let me find something I can do. Let's do a newspaper mission real quick. Time to be a bad guy. So we're going to use Mystic Flight to get over there. All right. And let's do that. I see Goose has returned.
I have. I just finished the video and popped into the game.
There you go. So we're showing everybody how to use this ice controller now. This is, I believe it's ice controller. Ice cold. Ice cold. And we're going to show you just how well this works.
Yeah, you got to be careful how fast you say ice, because then somebody's going to pop in with some ice baby, and it's just not going to go well.
All right, so we put the effects down, and then we just do the bolt, and you can see there goes half his life right there. That DOT will finish him off that I just put, so I can focus on this other one over here, and you can see he's down. So just like that, 2 minions down, like that. Oh, is that a lieutenant around the corner? Why, yes, it is. Luckily, this works very well in lieutenants as well. It takes another rotation or 2, but it'll work. Just give it a little bit of time. Now, this is why I recommend probably putting a recharge in Arcane Bolt. You will see some downtime that I'm not doing much. Now, I could put a Black Wand in there if I really wanted to. Or a Smart Vendor weapon. Those are options as well. It's up to you. You do you. This might be a little bit of a difficult pull here. But we'll see what we can do. Now, if I have, let's say, a group that I want to take care of, what I can do first is Flash Freeze and then put this down. And now that they're held, I can immediately go to Arcane Bolt and then start doing the order of operations, right? To get rid of those guys. He'll DOT to death. And Arcane Bolt's back up again. Now, Arcane Bolt will pop sometimes. You'll get a little special effect telling you, boom, it's back up. And you can see they went pretty quick there. They go pretty fast. But never start with Arcane Bolt. You need that enemy to be mezzed first before you do Arcane Bolt. Again, order of operations very important. It also helps, boys and girls, if you actually hit with the with these things, because if you miss, you're just gonna get your butt kicked just like that. Oh boy, that hurt. Yeesh. I should probably take a knee. He hit me really hard. I did have this one boss that literally took me from full health to like this much in 2 hits. Whew. It's really, really brutal. Let me just get some health real quick. Here on these live videos, we don't even do cuts. We just show you the good and the bad. Whoa, oh, he found us. He found us. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shiz. The last thing you want to do... Wow, he is just no-selling my... Wow, holy cow. He is no-selling my attacks. Okay, finally got him mezzed. He's a lieutenant. He's not an elite boss, but he was... Oh, I got 2 arcane bolts in a row, though. Vengeance. Boom. Bam. Bam. Whew. There was a lot of RNG in that fight. I had the good RNG and the bad RNG. Ooh. Oh, I had bad RNG first, and then I had good RNG there at the end to take them out quickly. Let me grab a little endurance here. So, for those of you who are used to playing controllers, does this seem like it's going a lot faster than what you would normally solo? As I pick apart another one over here. Oh, shiz. Did I get his attention too? I really don't need 2 pulls at the same time here. Ah, why am I missing so much? I gotta double check. I don't know if these guys have high... They might have high defense. I can actually turn on my monitoring of damage here. Wow, if I'm just failing against these guys to actually hold them really well. There we goes. Now we got him. And when you can see that arcane thing slams into him, it does massive damage. Like I said, we can get that on a recharge. We can do even more damage. Use your accuracy inspirations. Oh, no backseat driving, guys. I'll use it when I feel like it. Yeah, you're right, though. I'd probably hit more often if I use the darn things. Well, let me take a look. Normally, I will say normally I don't. I have a 95% hit chance. So let's take a look and see what's going on here with these guys. So you can do that by going into powers, combat attributes, go to base, last hit chance right here, and monitor that bad boy. Right. So let's just watch this when I attack some of these guys. I don't know if they have high defense. So before I start doing doodads. Let me convert 3 of these into health or break free just in case. But let's see what happens if I'm hitting these guys here. We're seeing 95 there, 95 there. I mean, you know, this game sometimes I swear it uses XCOM statistics. He's like slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm really focused on getting this guy held first. There we goes. 95%. 95%. A yellow won't... Oh, no, 89%. It is dropping to 89% right there. %. So, yeah, against that lieutenant, I am dropping a little bit there. So an accuracy would probably help with that to make it back up to 95%. Absolutely. But what do you guys think? Any of you who played controllers before, what do you think? Good, bad, indifferent? Because I think this is a lot faster than what I'm used to. This is before pets and whatnot. I'm just trying to get this guy booked and held down in a case of ice here before I do anything else. We have a volunteer over here that wants to get held. Gosh dang. These guys are brutal. Ooh. I've been finding different enemies. I haven't had quite as much. They're resisting my hold powers. I'm not used to that. I should probably. Let me see here. I don't have anything else to throw at them at a low level like this. Yeah, these guys are just pretty resistant. So, yeah, these lieutenants here tend to give me a little bit more of a problem than normal. But we'll do an arcane bolt there. Yeah, the lieutenants will mez me back, which is kind of ironic. It's supposed to be a video about, you know, how to handle these things and stuff. And like I said, I'm kind of curious what you guys think, because I'm not seeing a lot of feedback there in the chat yet. But do you think this is better than what you're used to seeing? Because you know, despite the fact that these guys here are giving me a hard time, and I normally go a little bit faster than this, but I'm playing paying a little too much defense here. But I still think this is better than what I'm used to. Am I mezzed again? I sure as heck am mezzed again. Lovely. Yeah, he's going to get another arcane bolt in the butt here. Assuming... yeah. Okay, screw this. They look like these big, huge guys that should hit you, and instead they sit there and hit you with mind beams like Jean Grey. Alright. Well, I will stop that recording there. Alright, well, I thought there'd be more feedback, because we had a lot of people saying earlier they're playing controllers and stuff, so... Oh, well, c'est la vie. I'll put up a video, and we'll see if some of the people on YouTube will respond to that. But at least, Brian, that gives us an opportunity to talk about the Sentinel. How about you, Goose? You got anything on your plate?
I haven't played a controller yet, sorry.
No, I said, do you have anything new on your plate?
Aside from some alts, no.
Fun alts. All right. Well, for Brian, I will do my stone sentinel here, because he's been having some problems with the stone sentinel, and I don't understand why. Because stone sentinels are awesome. All sentinels are awesome. I have yet to find a sentinel that isn't awesome. I'm sure there's one somewhere. I just haven't found it.
What is the idea behind a sentinel? I haven't played one of those yet.
So, Iron Man. You know, so the idea was, back in Live, you could play a blaster, you could play a tanker. Blasters were very fragile, tankers were very tough but did no damage, blasters did a lot of damage but were very tough. Scrapper might feel like it's in between, but it was melee only, no range. And his defenses weren't that great anyways, especially since they have to be so close, you know, up to everybody. It's, yeah. So one of the last classes they had made before the whole thing shut down was a Sentinel, which basically would have Scrapper-like defenses, but would have ranged attacks like a blaster. And in fact, a lot of the attack powers come from the blaster category and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know why. All right, there he is. Boop. Sentinels are awesome. Now, Anguish, you tell me what to do here, but I will do anything you want me to do. Let me see if Let me see if I can find something with an elite boss. And since you don't know the name of that one mission you were in, and I try to look it up. I saw your message. And I try to look it up. There isn't like a great resource that lists exactly which bosses are in which missions. I do have a spreadsheet that I use, and I try to list them all there, but I don't think I've seen that boss yet. Well, let's talk. I can talk to you a bit about. We can talk a little bit about Sentinel theory crafting. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But let me just look up to see. You're doing some level mission. There is one called Give 'em Hellion, and it says 3K Kelvin at the end. That's a low one. Carp DM, but that's level 24, has a boss at the end. Yeah. 3K Kelvin is probably the closest I could probably get at low level for kind of a boss. I'm just looking through. There's not too many villain missions anyways, thankfully. Yeah. Oh. Well, we could try starting with Give 'em Hellion and see where that goes. So let's talk about theory crafting for a minute on a Sentinel, right? So when you're building a Sentinel, one thing to keep in mind is look really closely at the powers that you're going to get at each level. Okay, so let's take a look here at rock armor. You're getting 16% smashing and lethal. Okay, now think about this for just a second. If an enemy hits you and does 100 points of damage and you have 16% resistance, then theoretically it would get reduced to 84. That's useful, but it's not huge, right? I mean, if you have like 1,000 hit points, it means that it'll take the enemy 12 hits to kill you instead of 10. But it's not going to take them 20 or 30, right? This by itself. Oh, finale, death by the truckload. Okay, let me see if I can find that on the list. So keep in mind. Now, the other problem is that this is defense. Oh, actually, you're right. This is defense, not resistance. Good call. I was thinking resistance. Defense is the chance not to be hit at all. So normally an enemy has a 50% chance to miss you. Your defense is added to that miss chance, right? So if he has a 50% miss chance and he hits you with a smashing attack, you'll have a 65% chance to not be hit. But they could have to hit buffs and things like that, or if they're higher level than you, then that will get reduced as well. The problem with defense is that it does really bad against higher level enemies too, because they just have a greater chance to hit you. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, Stone Skin is the resistance, right? So anytime that they do hit me, that's going to reduce it. But this is only by 8% right now. Not huge, worth having, because it's 8% to just about everything. And so it's effectively increasing my hit points, but not obviously changing my life either. Earth Embrace is adding more hit points, which in a way, again, kind of goes hand in hand with Stone Skin and just making me overall more tanky. And then, let's see, this is resistance to knock-up, defense debuffs, recover rates, kind of a lot of miscellaneous stuff, knock protection, repel protection. This is a lot of Mez protection. Mez protection is very important in this game, but it's not going to do anything for damage, but it's going to help you against a whole bunch of other things. Now, I've got some Brimstone Armor, which is resistant to fire, cold, and toxic. So what we're seeing here is we don't right now have a lot of real good slashing and lethal resistance. We can kind of see that as we're monitoring our defenses here. I've got smashing 20, lethal 20. It's okay. It's definitely better than a poor blaster, especially when you consider Sentinels have more hit points than blaster. I could probably realistically take about 50% more punishment than a blaster can right now, right? But a blaster can't take very much. Now, I've also got this self-heal, right? That will give me a little bit more, give me some extra hit points that will add to that. I've got 28 hit points. This is another 125 or so, give or take. I don't know. Looks like there's some healing there. Okay, 149 heal, and then some maximum hit points for a minute. So that helps to extend it as long as I remember to use it. This will make me even more tanky. But that's now that I'm level, 24. So keep in mind that the way, the way these things kind of scale up, you don't come out of the gate being super tough. So don't play like it. Just kind of keep that in mind. Damage-wise, let's talk about your enhancements, because you mentioned earlier you were having trouble killing things, right? Rooted helps you keep doing damage by preventing others from stopping you from doing damage. Yes. Oh, absolutely. You don't want to get mezzed. Every Sentinel just about defensive build has an anti-mez thing that prevents things like sleep, knock up, disorient. You always want to take those right away and keep those active. Let's talk about powers and enhancements a bit. Generally speaking, and I'm going to go replace these with some damages, but generally speaking, I usually go for 2 reds, 1 yellow, 1 red, and then maybe another yellow or a recharge. It just depends on how much that power is doing for you. And let me show you why. Let me go get some more reds here. Let me go find a vendor to... Wait, what level am I? 24? Okay, I won't, well, I'm going to go in there somewhere. I'm going to find a vendor. I can sell all this stuff anyways. Come on, run, move it. Wow, you're a slow rock guy. He's a slow rock dude. All right, where's that vendor at? Let's go ahead and sell all this crap-oly. Let's buy some nice couple of reds here, and I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, so if I replace this accuracy with a red, you're going to see the damage improves by 20%. Rock Shards here does 34 points of damage normally. It's sitting at 60 right now. So I'll bump it up, let's say to 68 or 70 or whatever the case is, right? The accuracy drops. Looks like it drops huge, but here's the thing to keep in mind. When you're fighting a same level critter without any accuracy bonus, you have a 75% chance to hit, a 25% chance to miss. With 1 yellow in your power, you go up to the cap, which is 95%. Now, for every level of enemies above you, that tends to drop 9%, right? Unless you're, for there's other things at play, like they've got super special bonuses or whatever have you. It's very easy to monitor this as you're fighting. You saw me do it the last character. I'll do it on this character. You'll see what my chances are to hit with only 1 accuracy. And more times than not, it's somewhere between 85 and 95%, right? Now, so what happens is if I put that yellow in there, it'll stay 95%. So instead of hitting, against same level mobs, I'm going to hit the exact same amount, but I'm going to hit harder with that extra red. Against higher level mobs, like, 1 level above me, I might hit 85% instead of 95%. So I'm hitting, 10% less often, but I'm still doing an overall damage when I do hit of 20% more. So you do the math, I'm still ahead. The only way that extra accuracy really pays off for me, rather than a red, is if I'm fighting something like really that's tougher to hit, right? Like if I only had like a 30% chance to hit for this damage, and this was going to bring it up to 40%, well, now I'm hitting 30-some% more often with that yellow in there. So that's a big jump. So go ahead and make sure you have plenty of reds, okay? I think when I see like some people, they'll literally have 1 red and 2 yellows. That is overkill. Overkill. Okay? Now, one thing you can keep in mind, Chris points this out, is you do want to check some of the powers have lower and higher accuracy. Not always, but take a look. You know, sometimes your AoEs may have less accuracy, and you may want to put a second yellow in there to bring it up to the same level. Up to you. Gravestone here actually already has a 1.2 accuracy. It's already above normal. It's almost like it's got a yellow in it. So maybe I should put another red in it to get its damage even higher, right? And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to tighten up that build just a little bit, make sure he's a good sentinel. Okay, we'll go ahead and replace that. And like I said, I usually put 2 reds before I put a yellow. This is not, Stalagmite isn't so much a damage-centric power, though. I'm really trying to get that stun. So the stun's either on or it's off. So for me, I'd rather make sure I hit that stun against higher level enemies. So for me, this is more about being controlled than being a lot of damage. Okay? So, with all of that being said, let's see if that mission that you're talking about is something we can find. Yeah, so for diminishing returns, notice I said put the 3rd red in there. I didn't say put 4 reds, 5 reds, 6 reds, because after that you're getting almost nothing from it due to enforced diminishing returns. Even that 3rd one, it's giving you less than the first 2. The first 2 usually give you full value. The 3rd one, you'll see. You'll notice that when you're hovering it over like I just did, you'll see that you're getting less returns from it. So never put, if you're using SOs at low, which we are usually at low levels, make sure you're not putting too much in there. Oh, take care, Rising Ape. I just saw that message there. Let me see if I can find the message that says the name of that mission. Finale, Death by the Truckload. Is that on the hero side? It's probably on the hero side, isn't it? Or did you say villain? Playing back when that happened. Oh, how we hit Steadsman at that point. Right? Everyone's having fun with all their reds. Everyone's having tons of fun with their reds, right? Let's see here. It is on, and let's see. So it is called. Let me see. So I was looking at the villain arcs before. Let me see if I can find the hero listing for it. Finale, Death by the Truckload. Finale. Yeah, I'm not even seeing that in there. Huh. Finale, Death by the Truckload, huh? Oh, that's interesting. There is the Buried Pass, which has Arbiter Sands and Captain Castillo. Ooh. Yeah, they used to slot 6. Yeah, just to boost it. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that one's kind of escaping me, but let me try to find a villainy one. We got a fast mission there. Midas Touch. The visit conference. Well, we'll do the Vasilok conference. The Serpentine Ring. The Super Adine Ring. Ah, there it is. 24.01. And I have like a note to verify this. Like I have no notes on this one. That tells you how new it is. It's so new I have no new notes on it, right? That's it's like unknown territory. Oh, why did I do that for? Now, let me take a look at what Sentinels I have on the hero side. I don't know how health bar got over there. Good old statesman there, making everyone's life miserable, right? That's what he be like, making everyone's life miserable. Okay, I have a level 20 Sentinel. Not exactly the same thing as the... And I think that Serpentine is level 19, so I might be able to do it. Now, let's take a look. He has 26, so he has very comparable smashing and lethal as our other guy there. So I'm going to use him. And this is the Umbral Knight. So let's pull up the artwork for him because, of course, I have artwork for him. Why wouldn't I have artwork for him? I need to make artwork showing his dark powers, though. Alrighty. Let me just see what the cooldown is on this self-regen real quick. 1 minute. Alrighty. Alright, let's go get danger. Let me check out my enhancements real quick. Yeah, you can see I've kind of gone... This is a newer character, so we have the proper slotting here. 2 reds, 1 yellow, and then anything past that, a red, a yellow, and a recharge, or 2 recharges, depending on the power. So, now, his Dark Embrace here is more resistance. So we have resistance to smashing and lethal, negative and toxic. We got a little bit of defense here with Shadow Dweller, which is a little bit more of, I think, might be a stealthing thing. Obsidian Shield, which is psionic resistance and your mez protections. And then this is our Healy. So very similar to the Rock Sentinel. Not a huge difference there, other than the theming, I think. So we'll go out there and let's try this story arc, okay? If I can find my way out of the icon center. Hopefully I can access the mission. It might be too high level for me. We'll see. Oh, we can just put an Ouroboros right there. Let's see if it'll pull up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, wait, I'm still in a mission. Cancel that. Leave. Access mission list. Alright, here it is. The Serpentine Rig. Alright, let's do this. Let's put a stop to these skulls for Brian. I got your back, buddy. Let's do this. Let's get dangerous. Are you ready to get dangerous, Goose?
Oh, always.
Woo! Solo Sentinel, Dark Sentinel, going into the fray. Okay, we're not going to read this today. Gas gun, blaster powers win. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Combat rewards. Salutations. My name is Phil, aka JCServant. We're going to make a video out of this. We're playing City of Heroes tonight on the stream tonight. And I said I was going to do a video showing this really interesting mission, this story arc. And I probably should start it with what the name of the story arc was. It's it's called the Serpentine Ring, and it's a level 19 mission. Wait, did I pick the right one though, Brian? The finale death by the truckload? I didn't do that, did I? I don't think I did that. Shit pickles. I think I picked the wrong one, didn't I?
What was that exclamation I just heard?
Oh, shit pickles.
That is a fantastic phrase that I will be stealing promptly.
Okay. Well, I think I stole it from the Angry Video Game Nerd because he has a he does these videos where he gets angry at Nintendo games and the such, and he has a little, well, he used to in the older shows. He had a little guy come up there that was called Shit Pickle. Yeah, I think I got the wrong mission here.
Fantastic.
I thought it was pretty funny. The sad news is I can't get back to Ouroboros for like 10 minutes or 5 more minutes, 2 more minutes. I think I got the wrong mission. I was all excited. I don't think you can get this. You can't get. It's a level 19 quest, Brian. That one that you gave me, the Serpentine Ring. That's a level. Well, it's 14. You might have been punching way above your weight somehow. If you were like, yeah. Was everything all purple to you by chance? Were all the minions purple? If the minions were all purple, that might be a bad sign, buddy. This guy doesn't even have a long-range teleporter. We need to get Sunshine some long-range teleporter action. Might as well, while you're waiting, just find some merit or exploration badges. Make yourself useful. Serpentine is available at 6 or 8. But it's showing in the level 14, I think it's the 15 to 19 category on Ouroboros. So how is that possible? It's exemplared me down to 19. No wonder you're having such problems, Brian. There is, I will say, there is jank in the game. So this isn't a Sentinel problem. I mean, if you're fighting, so let's be clear. Let me help you out here. If you're fighting a bunch of reds and purples, even oranges, especially at low levels, that isn't a classes having a problem. That is a Welcome to City of Heroes jank problem, right? City of Heroes is full of jank. So much jank. So that's not on you, bud. Yeah. That's not on you. But understand that's also not the class issue, right? Like, don't be like, oh, now I'm gonna go play a brute because my brute got through another mission, no problem. Now, if your brute is getting through purple mobs, no problem at level 14 or 10 or 9 or wherever you were at. Let me see your build, please. Your level 9 build. Yeah, it looks like you're right, Angrab. I think that's what we're finding out. Everybody else is white and yellow. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair, Brian. That happens a lot too. City of Heroes is full of such jank that's not unusual to go through a mission and see a bunch of whites and yellows, and then you get to the end, and it's like, what the hell am I facing here? And sometimes you just have to suck it up and get through it, and it sounds like you did. So God bless your heart as a new player. I'm sorry that, unfortunately, there's just old jank in the game, and it can create some pretty negative and frustrating experiences. I'm the kind of guy that I get pretty frustrated pretty easy. I come to play this game to relax, not to fight a bunch of purple guys. I don't play on +4. I don't look for trouble, right? I play on +0 when I'm leveling characters for the most part. I may bump it up to ×2 or ×3 when I'm ready for more mobs, but I don't bump up the levels because I don't want to face a bunch of purples and reds later on in a story arc that can have a whole bunch of janky issues like that. So yeah, that is most unfortunate. Yeah. Let me just look for my tips here. Where am I at? I'm Steel Canyon. Let me get this one real quick. Oh, I'm in Kings Row, Phil. You're not in Steel Canyon. Wouldn't I have tips in? I guess you can only have so many. Alright, let me try Ouroboros again. Lights the map on fire, if I remember right. Yeah, and remember, guys, like that's why I always take people to fight Frostfire when they run with me, like they're a new player. I will level them up to 15 in a farm. Then I will get them set up with Ouroboros, show them how to enhance and everything like that. And then I take them to fight Frostfire so that you can see how to fight a boss. Thankfully, Frostfire, I don't think is purple, but he summons shit. He's got a lot of little guys running around him. It's a definite difficulty spike. And it gets new players kind of used to the idea that, like, yeah, something might try to kick you in the crotch once in a while, so be ready, for shenanigans. Let me just take a look here. So it was Serpentine, the Lord of Death. So was it any of these two, do you think? There's Serpentine Ring, and then there's Lords of Death, Chapter 2. Should I do the Serpentine Ring, or should I do the Lords of Death? He's a Titan Weapons Brute? Oh, gosh, I'm in for trouble. The hits are shadow damage, yeah. Frostfire's kicking your butt right now. I love Frostfire, but I pick them because sometimes I want just a bit of a challenge at the end. And you can brute force your way through it by, constantly resurrecting and going back if that's what you have to do. Now, here's a question for you guys who are a little bit more experienced. I wanted to science this out to find out for myself, but maybe you can just answer straight up, right? With it on fire. So is Chapter 2 the one you think that you were having problems with, Brian? Because I wouldn't mind doing the one you were having problem with. Yeah, Frostfire's built for grip. That's why I was going with friends, but I have soloed them plenty of times, but it just requires using a lot of inspirations and a little strategy. Unless you're playing a mastermind. And then you just let your pets take care of. No, he'll even kill Mastermind. He's probably one of the few people that give my masterminds a bit of a challenge. But part of the problem is they don't have a lot of pets at that point either. Chapter 1? Okay, so we were on the right chapter. Okay, so we'll do that one. We'll do that one. Oh, the question I was going to ask you guys, for those of you who are more experienced than I am, when you go to set difficulty, so first off, Brian, what you never want to do is come here and say, put this to archvillains, because, yeah. You don't want to. You want to keep that on elite. I think it's on elite bosses by default. And basically, when you're solo, if there's an archvillain, I think they get bumped down to elite bosses. But then it says here, solo bosses, yes or no. Does anybody know for a fact what that does? I want to say it reduces elite bosses to lieutenants, but I'm not sure. I was going to science this out because I know there's a quest that, and obviously Frostfire I think is an elite boss, but there's a quest that I do that I've been testing level 20 controllers, defenders on and stuff like that to see how well they perform. And that one has an elite boss at the end. So I was going to science this out by just turning this to no. I think it's just by default. It doesn't even tell you, like it says up here, it tells you what the pluses are. So if you adjust your level, it'll change up here. If you adjust your team size, it'll change it up here. If you adjust your solo AV, it says no AV, right? It'll change it up here. But solo bosses, it doesn't show up here. Does anybody know for a fact? It turns bosses to lieutenants, but does not touch elite bosses. Oh, and grab. So does that mean if I put it up to like ×4 ×5, it's not unusual to see bosses in those clumps? It would just change all those guys to lieutenants. Then it sounds like. Lord Chaos just defeated the Vindicators. Life is good for the bad guys. Good job, buddy. Yeah. Good job, Lord Chaos. All right. While you guys are answering those questions, we'll go ahead and do this. And we're going to make a video out of it because this will be good content for my YouTube channel. So here we go. Oh, I'm still recording. Let's stop that recording real quick. What's that?
What level are you doing this at?
This will be 20. 20. We're going to see if we can figure this guy out. All right. It will turn all those bosses to lieutenants. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Angrab. So if there's an elite boss at the end of a story arc, you're stuck. There's no way to reduce him if you're soloing. Good to know. All right. Well, let's do it. I mean, Elite Boss is already a step down from probably what it's supposed to be, which is an arch-villain at the end of a story arc, so it makes sense. All right. Salutations, my name is Phil, aka JCServant. Welcome to another exciting City of Heroes video. Today, we are showing... I mentioned I was going to showcase off my characters and stuff like that. And I was going to do my older characters first, but I've been asked to do this story arc, or it's just come up in conversation. I volunteered, we'll put it that way. And it requires, in order to demonstrate it, it shows a low-level character. So we're going to do one of the newer story arcs. It's an issue 24 story arc. It's not the newest. It's not the newest content, but this came out on issue 24. And it has some shenanigans and elite bosses, at least one elite boss that I know of in it. I haven't done it before. I have no record of it in my notes. So I said, you know what, let's take out our new level 20 Dark Sentinel and give it a shot. Alrighty. And when it comes to elite bosses, I can tell you from doing a lot of this, when you look at my tier list, I can almost guarantee if you're just the average Joe player with no special build, it goes from easiest to hardest as you go down my tier list, right? So Sentinels, Brutes, and Masterminds are at the top because they're the easiest ones to handle elite bosses, but they can still have problems. When you go down to things like Blasters, it gets harder, and when you go down to Scrappers, it gets harder, and when you get to like Dominators and Controllers, it's like pray for your life. You better have a full-blown inspiration thing. So we haven't talked too much about elite bosses on this channel, but we're going to probably see one here by the end of it. So Sentinels can get through them pretty decently, but not as easy as Masterminds. So we'll give it a shot here and see how well we do. We have some inspirations to help us out, and we'll try to find some more purples along the way. So the story arc, so we're going to be, let me talk about the character real quick, because this is about showcasing the characters. Our character here is the Umbral Knight. So this is a natural sentinel, dark baby, and he is ready to get in there with his dark powers. Nothing super special about the early game build. Most of the sentinels look pretty similar. We have all of our attack powers, and as I usually recommend I usually go red, red, yellow, red. So that's what we have in a lot of these powers for attack. We do have a little bit of a hold here in Abyssal Gaze. So that can be a little bit nice, but it's only for 4 seconds. So that could possibly get us out of a little bit of a jam. And then on armor side, we've got some pretty good smashing and lethal resistance, negative energy and toxic. We got a little bit of defense. I think this is basically my stealth, but you got a little bit of everything here. What I really like there is extra regeneration. We've got resistance to psionic damage, our Mez protection with Obsidian Shield. And then we have our Clicky that gives us, on a minute cooldown, that gives us some pretty good regeneration, which is probably going to be helpful for the boss. So we're going to hopefully be okay with that, but we're going to see. As I do with most of these videos, I am streaming while I'm doing this. So if you ever want to catch these videos while they're being made, including all the times I say, oh crapola, and I have to stop and reshoot, you're welcome to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification when I go live. I'm usually on Mondays and Friday nights, but I also stream all kinds of crazy times on the weekends and mornings and whenever I feel like it. And in fact, a question in the channel is, where does my artwork come from? I create all of my artwork with our good friends at Google Gemini. I take a screenshot of the character, I upload it, and it does a really good job of making it look like Marvel comic character, like someone drew it from Marvel themselves. And so, very thankful to be an AI. The story arc we're doing is the Serpentine Ring. And I'm not going to read all the text in this like I do with some of my videos, because this is more about showcasing the powers and just getting through it and talking with you guys while I'm doing it. But we do have videos dedicated to going through the story arcs. I'm doing one on the villain side right now. The crystal won't let me touch it. So I'm doing one on the villain side right now. You can check those videos out. It's in a separate playlist and whatnot. So... And remember, boys and girls, real men, 3-slot flight for maximum velocity. That's how you get between these missions really, really quick.
But elite men don't skip leg day and take super leap.
Right. I do like Super Leap as well, but as long as it's 3 slotted for extra jump speed. All right, so we got some skulls over here. Oh gosh, we got a guy killing my skulls off. Rude. How am I supposed to get the skulls if some really super high level guy is like... Oh, is he high level? Oh, he's level 9. I'm taking his kill. Oops, sorry. Nah, I'll try to find my own skulls. Ah, it's so hard to find your own skulls sometimes. Now, this is just a little street clean. This mission starting off with something simple. Go around and just kill a bunch of skulls and they... Now, this mission, I have been told, has quite the range on it. So you're seeing these guys I'm defeating at level 9, and you're like, well, wait a minute, Phil. Wasn't this like a level 19 Ouroboros? Why is it having you hunt for level 5? Apparently, it's got quite the level range on it. Our friend who had some challenges with this had the misfortune of picking this up at like level 8 or 9, which is probably an insane level to be fighting any arch villain, elite boss, whatever. So God bless his heart. God bless his heart. 2 runs and 1 jump. Brian, that's one way to get around really, really quick on things. Absolutely. He says, I've been using Infiltrate on my Brute, and with 2 runs and 1 jump, it's been interesting. I do need to figure out how to get the chat into the videos so people can see that, but I will read it out loud when people chat. I can multitask. All right, so now we got to pay Toothbreaker Jones a visit, but who will be breaking whose teeth? That is the question. That is the question. Am I right, guys? Oh my gosh, did I set this to 2 p.m.? Oh, okay. What? Hey, guys, you got a bit of a food line up here. I don't suppose you guys want to get on my way, do you? They probably don't. It's funny how my powers are just going through these people. Maybe they're just holograms. Everyone wants out. Arrest Toothbreaker Jones. Oh, we got some friends over here. All right, you want to play? Let's play. I do like that there's a bit of a knockback on that power right there. And you can see this guy's going through these. We were showing a controller earlier, and I've gotten that controller to kill a lot faster than before, but it still pales in comparison to a good Sentinel. I mean, you bake your cake with what you got, but holy cow, does a Sentinel do good. I am going to run out of endurance here. Wow, they just keep coming, and I don't have a lot of endurance. Let me turn off my toggles here. Take the defenses down for a hot minute so I can get some endurance back, because I don't have a whole lot to fall back on. We'll use our health as a resource for a hot minute. You know, the toggles are there for a reason. You don't have to keep them on all the time. And they're most valuable at the beginning of the fight, right? When you have a lot of things attacking you. But they're least valuable towards the end of the fight where you only got a couple things left attacking you. So don't be afraid to turn those toggles off if you need to, right, guys?
Turn my toggles off?
I know.
That sounds suspiciously like heresy.
Let's, oh, I don't have auto map. I need to get the Smart Vendor auto map on this character. Ah, it's always somebody who wants a piece of the Umbral Knight. Byes. So like you, it looks like I'm fighting a bunch of same level guys at the beginning here. Especially for toggles that don't deal damage, the damage you'll be facing. Fire and ice being the main notables. That's true. Right, if you have toggles with damage you're not facing, you should probably turn those off and save your stamina. Oh, that hurt. That was not very nice at all. We don't like knockback. Unless we're doing it to others, then it's okay. Alright, so our Sentinel took all that on the chin, took that in good measure, as we would expect a Sentinel to do. Definitely want to open up with the AoEs there to wear down all their hit points so you can get through the rest of them pretty easily. Unfortunately, I think you'll run through 2 to 3 missions to reach the fight. Yeah, that's kind of common. I kind of figured that would be the case. Yeah, that's not unusual. Now, if you told me it was going to be like 10 fights to get to it, then I'd be like, oh boy, this is like the freak show. But it's usually, you know, usually if it's that many doors, it's worth a lot of merits. Now, I could get stealth on this character, and I could show you a faster way to get through these missions if you want to get through them quickly. You'll get less XP because you won't be killing as many things. But there's definitely a simple two-pronged strategy for getting through these things a bit faster than me slogging through, you know, every enemy along the way. And it'll cost you about 1 million influence. So there is that. And whatnot. And I see a bro has joined us. Red is joining our stream tonight.
Yes. Hi, bro.
It's another fun day in Broadice.
Still feeling under the weather.
Go ahead and freeze that guy there. I don't see our query over there. Yeah, we're just playing more City Heroes, and I'm playing the Umbral Knight here, and just relaxing, bro. Playing this in the farming games.
Awesome.
There's Jones. Now that I've aggroed half the dungeon. Okay, thankfully Jones didn't come after me while I was playing with these guys here. See if I can get my endurance real quick, and then we'll hit Toothbreaker. Yeah, it's showing at YouTube, bro.
Okay.
I forget if YouTube worked better for you than Twitch.
Yeah, YouTube is better.
Okay, so yeah, you can see it there. Now, what we're going to do here, guys, is keep this obscure substance in mind, because it's really a long-term play, right? It's more regeneration than a big, huge instant heal, so we want to get that early in the fight if it's going to be a tough fight. We're going to go ahead and apply Sentinel vulnerability to him, get aim up, and then hit him with the AoEs, because he's got a buddy right next to him. Otherwise, I'd hit him with the Umbral Beam first and foremost. And you're going to see we're going to take down this lieutenant pretty quickly. There was another one that ran somewhere, and you have to kill them all to consider it arresting him, and dang nabbit. I don't know where that other one ran to. I try not to lose track of those things, but eventually they'll come back. Eventually. Did I mention they'll come back? There we go. I'm going to finish killing them off for the XP now. Give me my XP. I didn't have to use my regeneration power there, so far, the defenses that I do have are better than the damage these guys are putting out, I suppose. We gotta talk to this person here. Now we gotta shut down this Superadine Den. How do you even say that word? Superadine? Let's go over to here. It's a showing for you, bro.
Yay.
Yay. All right, shut down. Arrest all skulls. So this is our first hunt all. So we're on, we need to write this down. Mission 2, hunt all 1 so far. Because this we'll put into the notes for later. Where are all the skulls? I like how that question comes up. That's kind of interesting. Look for clues. So many clues. I'm not a patient guy for looking for clues. Oh, found something there. I don't play City of Heroes to play Scooby-Doo mysteries. Alright. Oh, here we go. An ambush. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, come get yours. Oh, it's a trap. Am I trapped in here with them, or are they trapped in here with me? Did this give you any problems here, Brian? Now, when you're dealing with an ambush like this, as soon as that last person goes down, take a knee and get your things back up, because they're probably sending another wave after you, and you don't want to get caught with less than full endurance. One rarely has to do actual mysteries here, thank goodness. Yeah, compare this to Divinity Original Sin, right? Oh, these guys actually hurt. Go ahead and get this guy too here. Take a knee right away. Take that knee as quickly as possible. This part was fairly smooth. Okay, so I haven't gotten to the fun part yet. Oof. What do we got here? A lieutenant, a sugar daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, bone daddy. Not to be confused with sugar daddy. He's now a dead daddy. Could also turn off sprint to save some endurance. But that might actually be it for all of them for the moment. Just have to make my way to the exit, I guess. Oh, now we've got enemies everywhere. Oh, gosh, there's more of them. What will I do? Who will I call when I'm in trouble? There are 2 named ones to beat. Ooh, we do like our named ones. Let's keep the endurance capped up. He is a little bit of an endurance hog. I need to check his endurance modification next time he levels up. Make sure I get a couple of extra slots in those. Alright, so we have a mandible and a maxilla here. They are lieutenants though, so they're not too hard. Still, doesn't hurt to be prepared. Get rid of this one as quickly as possible. Boom, one shot with some enhancements. Then we'll go ahead and get these two while we're all enhanced up. You can see all of my attack powers are on cooldown, and there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Skull Busters, 2 lieutenants, exactly. Don't be afraid to use your inspirations when you're facing 2 lieutenants at a time. 2 lieutenants at a time is a little bit above the normal curve of what you face in solo, the normal curve, because normally you fight 1 lieutenant, 1 minion. In those clumps, unless you pull like 2 clumps at once or something like that. Alright, so we gotta find Emily Rodriguez. So, hey, Nimi, how you doing today? So, let's get dangerous. That's our slogan for tonight, by the way. I've definitely got to remember to give you guys like a pro gaming tip after this. Save Emily, stop it. Whoa, we get a cutscene. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice. Oh my gosh, from the neck down, she's so... And then from the neck up, it just... Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely have to do this one for an official read-through on a character. So right now, you guys had chose for me to play an Illusion Psychic Dominator. And so I'm soloing that character from 1 through 50, no double XP on the villain side, because you guys chose that. And we're reading those stories out loud, and you can find those videos in their own playlist. I think we're up to 2 or 3 at this point, but we'll continue to knock those out. We might do one tonight if I'm up to it. All right, so we gotta save them and stop the ceremony and all this other jazz, and there's guys in the way. If I had stealth, I could just run past them, but I don't. I like that big splash of black ink. Like, satisfying. Skittles are meant to be used. That's right. Don't forget to take your Skittles, boys and girls. Oh, you guys. Always hanging out together. Oh, we got an extra incomer here. I don't know why this menu won't die. He keeps missing. I don't know. What's my last hit chance? 86. He is +1 level to me, so that kind of makes sense. They are getting a little tougher, I think, in level. Oh, goodness gracious. What the heck is going on here? Die! That minion has lasted longer than most lieutenants. So you're going to see, like, again, same level minions, like I was telling you about before, you'll see that 95% chance, right, and last hit chance. Keep your eye on that last hit chance, right? And then it kind of goes down when I go above my weight class. So yeah, keep that in mind. That helps you. You want to keep that up because that can help you to tighten up your build. Now, when you get into higher levels, you start getting sets and set bonuses. You're probably going to have more accuracy overall. Oh, good grief. What do we got here? Another minion. So, an 80% chance to hit. So, now that last chance was a 95%. So, it averages out. But let's say the chance was always 80%. Would you give up a red that does 30% more so you can have a 15% greater chance to hit? Now, I hate missing, and it can really throw you a loop when it happens too much in a row. But mathematically speaking, it's better to go with more damage. Plus, you can always eat, you know, an inspiration to increase it if you're having a rough go, you know, here and there. What is this one? A minion. So we're seeing that power is a 95%. Some powers have a little bit more accuracy as well. Uh-oh. The music just went on. The regen on the character is impressive. What is his regen? We could take a look at that. We'll take a look after... Wait, is it just changing the music? I guess it just changed the look. We can take a look real quick. Powers. Let's just take a look at his combat attributes. Regeneration. Current endurance, 99%. Current hit points. Absorption points, max endurance. Regeneration is 1.13%. So it shouldn't be too impressive right now. We'll monitor it. 5 hit points a second, and he's only got, you know, he's got like 500 or so hit points, so, yeah. Yep. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys first. Now, if we use the regeneration power, you're going to see that go up to 20 hit points a second, right? And then it's going to scale down as the time ticks on. So it starts off kind of strong, and then it ticks down. So it's kind of, so you can see it now going down to 3%. So this guy doesn't give you like a big heal. It just gives you like sustained healing. Now I'm down to 1.81, which is just a little bit above normal, I think. Now you can get extra regeneration on your character later on through set bonuses. And of course, enemies can use attacks to get rid of your doohickey. Let's see. Misery. There's Misery. Misery loves company, right? Alright, let's take a look what we got here. I think I'll probably take out Misery right there alone. Let's eat a red or two. Let's see if we can take out some of these guys. Wow, that AoE was bigger than I was hoping it was going to be. And that mission is done. Level up. Alrighty. I think we are at the finale. Death by the truckload. Here we go. This is what you've been waiting for, Brian. Let's do it like Brutus, because we ain't new to this. It's time for the grand finale. Might have overjumped that just a titch. Now, again, I will tell you, you're fighting this at level 8 or 9. You had a huge arm tied behind your back, right? Because you would have a lot less, you know, powers than I do coming into this. Now, they're going to scale up his, you know, his stuff. But I still think, like, it's not apples to apples. And whatever have you. Oh, she got a good hit in with that bat, so... Yeah, that regeneration ability he has is not too shabby, because that healed him up all the way. So... And he's getting extra regeneration afterwards. So that's not half shabby. Yeah, I enjoy the content a ton too. Like I've learned to embrace the jank because the overall fun factor is really up there. Where to go? Where to go? Where to go? All right, what do we got here? I guess we'll kill these guys. Why? Because it's fun. Also, I would point out that a lot of, classes Sentinel included, a lot of the power sets usually have something like aim or something to boost your accuracy for a small period of time. So I don't freak out if some of my fights got 80% accuracy or even lower from time to time, because you do have ways to address that in most power sets. Keeping an eye on that last to hit chance can help you to plan when to use some of that stuff. Right, bro?
Yep.
Don't you want to play a big beefy dude blasting everything with super dark powers, bro?
And I got better, bro.
COVID is going around. More COVID. I don't think anything in the game explained vulnerability as an ability. No, I mean, nothing's going to jump out at you in this game at all. You definitely have to read through everything carefully. So whenever you're playing a new archetype, make sure you look at these inherent powers. And you're going to want to look at, opportunity and vulnerability, right? So opportunity, the watchful eye of the Sentinel constantly seeks opportunities to exploit a foe's weakness. The Sentinel is difficult to evade and will resist debuffs against their perception and chance to hit. Okay, so that's good to know. All right, and then vulnerability, right? By analyzing the weaknesses of your enemy, you make them vulnerable to attacks and detection. This power does not stack with other Sentinels, and if you go into the details, you'll see that it's a 15% resistance debuff to all of the to all damage and the such. So it really lowers it really makes you a better at killing bosses, and particularly in a group setting because you're multiplying everyone's. Oh, I've done this before. I remember this guy. I can't remember if we did him in a group because I remember he died quickly. Because I remember him looking around the corner and going, whoever. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a big boy. I like how it goes like, Oh gosh. Oh gee whiz willikers. Alright, now before we pull this guy, let's just make sure we're not going to get into extra complications. I don't think he cares about me. Whoa, okay, it's time for a big boss battle. Go ahead and burn some of those inspirations right away and make your life a little easier and try not to stay too close to him, probably. Oh gosh, he hurts. He hurts so much, mommy. Make it stop hurting. Oh my goodness gracious, why does it hurt? Why is he always staying so close to me? I didn't give consent. I didn't sign out the permission for... Ah. Okay, get back here. Let things recharge a titch. Keep that sentinel... that weakness on him. Oh, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts him. Oh, stay away from me, you son of a gun. Stay away.
Honey girl, I need love.
There we go. Whew.
What a kitty love.
And only for 6 merits? Oh, that's something you don't repeat. 30 minutes, and I went through that pretty quick. For only 6 merits with a supervillain at the end? Surely. Yeah. So that's most unfortunate. But there we go, Brian. As you found out, the key strategy is to run like a little girl. Bro says hi.
There's a bro.
Hi.
He's in my ear.
Oh, say hi to him. Ooh, stretch, kitty, stretch.
Whew.
Kitty.
Alrighty. So we'll turn that in, and we'll do a little hot tip here at the end of this. Okay, it's two things that would help me get through that faster, right? First, we need to do Atlas Park.
Mommy need a kitty love.
Take him with you. He's portable.
No, he's not. He likes you.
Yeah, Brian, it's just because Sentinels have defenses doesn't mean they necessarily should and could stand a toe-to-toe with an elite boss. I'm kind of curious how my Brute would handle that, so I'm a little curious to do that mission with the Brute to see if it's easier on the Brute than the Sentinel. Because the last time I fought an elite boss with the Brute, it did work out much easier than that. So, yeah, I am curious. Alright, where am I at here? Alright, first, come to your start vendor here. Hot tip number 1, boys and girls. Come to Prestige Powers, go to Utility, and buy yourself an Inner Inspiration that's free. That'll give you some inspirations every half an hour. More importantly, buy Reveal. That will allow you to reveal the map of a dungeon when you're in it. So that's always super helpful. And then number 2, as I mentioned, this for whatever reason, he doesn't have stealth. And for some odd reason, I thought he had stealth. But I guess, oh, maybe because I haven't taken it yet. I'm not really sure. Oh, it's down here. Cloak of Darkness, stealth. So I probably haven't taken a stealth item because I'm going to get that soon. But if you take a look at the auction house, you can look for a... you can look for down here under running or running and sprints. You're going to look for, great. Do it under attuned enhancements, by the way. Leaping and sprints. You can look for stealth, unbounded lead stealth. You can buy this, put this into your running your sprint power, and this will give you stealth while you're sprinting. So you can sprint to the end of some of those missions and just take out the bosses where it's applicable. I won't get it for him because he's going to have stealth soon enough anyways. But tell me what you think about the Umbral Knight in the comments below and his performance here and everything like that. Thank you guys on YouTube so much for watching the video. This has been a character showcase. I'll show you more of the Umbral Knight later on if we get a more level up. He has more powers. But until next time, may God bless you. Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely take them out with inspirations. I think the same thing with the Sentinel here. One thing I could have done going into him, if I really thought it was going to be a problem, is just take a few purples with me. So one thing, because you can get your damage reduction on him pretty high, and make it to where you just stand there and just, you know, do that. And a couple of damage reductions, a couple of reds, a couple of pearls, a couple of reds, no big deals. I think I had 1 purple running at the time, not sure. Alright, Ingrab, thank you for sticking around, bud. And you can buy inspirations off the auction house. So you can come over here, inspirations. And you can buy small ones, medium ones. Purples here aren't too bad. I usually buy them by the handful and just keep them sitting in my auction house inventory. You really don't need break freeze on a Sentinel. It just doesn't get, you just don't get mezzed a whole lot. Can also buy a bunch of these for resistance. They're pretty cheap. Always keep some inspirations on hand. Skittles are your friends. Oh, is that not working? We'll put an extra one in there. Yeah, you're right. Brave Freeze can be useful after using Awaken. So I usually keep those in my inbox. You can email those to yourselves and have them ready in case you need to pop back up. Let's see here. You can use one more stamina there. Two on a second, two on a second. Dark Blast. Umbral Beam is 14. Oh, accuracy. Oh, this accuracy is broken because it's too low level, so that doesn't help things out any. Okay. So I think we're good on this one here. All right, is there any other questions or anything else you guys want to see? Any thoughts? I think I need a damage and accuracy. And an endurance modification. Wait, where was I going to put that at? Oh, I know that goes up there. Oh, great. I'm just going to put three in there because I can, I guess. There's some more endurance from there. This will improve his regeneration rate even more, I suppose. Now he's up to 6 hit points a second. Lucky for him. Dramatic improvement. Let's see here. So if you sell this, yeah, these are going really cheap on the auction house, I believe. Yeah, Anybody want to see anything on chat? You want to see any of the archetypes or whatever have you? Is there a typical best adaptation for bioarmor? Bioarmor is really cool because it depends on your situation, right? And it depends. Are you talking? Well, I'll show you it. I think I'll show you the most extreme example I can think of, which is a tanker, right? Not to mention, I don't need much excuse to pull out my new favorite tanker toy. Where is my tanker toy? There she is. And do we have artwork for her? What do you think? Okay. So when you look at this character here, we have we're exemplar down for whatever reason, but I guess the point will still work just as fine. So you'll see that smashing lethal is 32%. But our damage bonus is 0 because we're in efficiency mode. Now if we switch to defensive mode, the defenses goes up to 40%, but we're taking a 25% damage penalty. Now, you're probably sitting at 170% damage total because you're using armor enhancement, so this reduces you down to 145. Now, this isn't the biggest nerf in the world, but, you're basically, giving up, do the math on 170 to 145. Where's my calculator? So let's say we're going from 170 to 145. So we're talking a 15% reduction in overall DPS, and you're getting an 8%, resistance increase. I don't know if that's generally worth it or not. You have to be in a pretty tough situation to convince me that's generally worth it. You might be in a tough situation where the defenses will pull you through and stuff like that. So, and whatnot. Generally, as a more casual player, my attitude is if I'm in a team and I'm playing, let's say a tank or a brute, and so I'm the tanking person, or sometimes I tank as a sentinel, then put on defensive modes unless you're just cheesing through everything and you don't need it. But do it by default and let everybody else do the damage. You're the tank. Let them do it. But if I'm soloing, we're going to flip that over to offense, and we're going to drop our defenses down to 27%. That's a significant drop. Instead of taking, let's say, 60 hit points from an enemy, I'm going to take 72, 73 points with every hit on the average. But I'm getting a 21% damage bonus, it looks like, total. So that's a pretty good bump, right? I'm going to get through them significantly faster. Absolutely. So it is situational. And the best bio players, with bio tank in particular, the running wisdom is that it's not the best in the world for tanking, right? If you're going to be like a top tier tanker, there's probably better combinations for that. However, where it ranks, is it number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 on the list? It's good enough to be in the top 5 no matter what. But depending on how well you handle those toggles, because it is very toggle heavy, will help you to will help you determine to get the most out of it. But for solo play, I usually leave it on offense for the most part. Yeah, go to Skyway. You ever see a tanker solo? Some people say it's too slow. I would generally agree. But if you are going to solo a tanker, there are a few that you can do that are a lot better at soloing than others. Epic music. Ooh, do we have this set at ×2? Nope, they're just really clumped. I feel like that's a ×2 setup. Well, isn't that special? We might have to use a heal on this one. So with this tanker, you get quite a bit of AoE with those 2 attacks right there. Oh gosh, that hurt. But you see, we're getting through them decent right there. Ain't gonna be anything that is gonna compete with a brute, but I bet you this even rocks really hard on a brute. You're just whacking everything with your stick. And pull them out there so I can actually see how many there are. Wait for it. She looks like she's breakdancing there. And you can see how well we're taking these guys out. It's not shabby for a tank. I've had the occasional scrapper that maybe, you know, wasn't the best build. You know, run a bit slower than that. Oh, I even have super jump turn. I shouldn't have that turned on anymore. Taunt them in, bring them in close so you can get that value out of that that AoE there. Ooh, that hurt. You're looking at Storm Blaster. It looks interesting, but it seemed like it might be kind of slow until you get the Storm Cell. Have you used it before? Yeah. Actually, I have a character with it, a Corruptor, I believe. And it's pretty cool, but I've been keeping it on the back burner because they're doing some changes to it soon. Some significant changes to how Storm Cell works and stuff. And I don't want to get used to something and then have them change it. It's going to be fairly significant. So I've played around with it on the test server. And I think it's overall pretty positive, but it does mean you have to kind of get used to it too. Yeah, Octavice. I played it on the server. I personally like it. I've seen some negative comments or opinions on it, but I personally thought it helped to move things along. I mean, there's always going to be a little extra setup with that power set. That's kind of what you sign up for when you pick it. I think that the setup is worth it. I think it's really cool. It's really thematic. It's really well done. So I'm looking forward to playing more of it when it's all said and done. Absolutely. So what are you guys thinking of Bio's staff there? Not too shabby? Now, you've seen her health get a little low a few times. It is not helped by her lower resistances from, being in offense mode. But it's also not been too detrimental, especially since she can fall back on that heal. I haven't had to resort to inspirations, which, inspirations are there to be used. But yeah. Affliction Warlock, by the time you get to set up everything's already dead. That's why I play solo and in duos, Brian, because you just described half the classes in the game. If you're in a group of 8, it's practically a lawnmower simulator most of the time. And if you're playing like a controller, I don't even know why you bother in an 8-man group, because by the time you lock everything down, it's dead. In a lot of groups. Now, the tankers and the brutes taunts draw those enemies close to you because it reduces their attack range. So don't forget to use that to pull those enemies in to get the full value out of your AoE attacks. It's like critless scrapper in a way. That's a good way to put it. It absolutely is. It's not the. I will say it's not the most exciting thing in the world. I definitely, I get more enjoyment, generally speaking, out soloing a stalker or even a scrapper. I love my War Mace scrapper, but it's nice, steady. It's an honest day's work, and it looks good and it plays well. So I don't have any problems with it. It's I don't mind doing missions with this one. This one doesn't drive me crazy with how slow it is. Grab that evidence, and we're done with that mission. So there's a little tanker for you there. That one was a recommendation from you guys, and I think it's working out very, very well. So good recommendation, guys. Don't forget reds. Lots of reds in your attack powers. All right, guys. I got to get heading to bed tonight. I can't stay up that late tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I see that there's a whole bunch on y'all right now. I hate to leave you. We might do a little bit of streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But if nothing else, I'll be back on Monday. Usually I stream Monday nights starting around 9 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Brian, for hanging out and chatting tonight. I hope some of this has been helpful. Thank you, Karis, for all of your hot tips. Thank you for jumping in, Cuddly. Appreciate it. And Jerome, always a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you coming back and saying hi. Appreciate all of you guys. Soul Calibrator, thank you so much. Lord Chaos and Grab. A lot of y'all. A lot of people on tonight. Too many to list. Thank you guys. This is Phil signing off. And may God